Rev up your engines! Customer just told me this Ram, these stupid semi-keyless remotes, dumbest system ever. Vehicle won't start, so what are we gonna do? Well, let's start by turning the key and seeing what happens. Stick the key in. Well, the lights come on, so at least we turn the key off, turn the key on. There's power there, but when we turn the key, nothing. Dead as a doornail. So with the key on, let's turn the headlights on, go outside, see what happens. Well, the headlights are coming on, so there's power going through the system, but you never know how much power the battery has, so let's open the hood and check it. Typical Dodge, the hood won't even stay up. They make them like such pieces of crap. So we need a stick. So we'll test the battery. One tester on here, and one tester on there. And since it says right here, 790 cold cranking amps, we'll check that. It's in the vehicle. Battery, top post, regular, cold cranking, and we'll put it on 790. Then we push start. We'll see what it says. State of health is not that great. It says it needs a recharge, but that isn't going to be why it's not starting. It needs recharging, but it's got enough, should crank the engine. It's not doing anything. So something's wrong between the battery and the ignition switch going to the starter. Odds are it's this system. They're such pieces of crap. God knows Chrysler has enough problems building cars that it is to add this stuff onto it to make it another level of crap that breaks on them. So I'll hook up my fancy scan tool and pray it finds something wrong with the system with a code so we don't have to check absolutely everything on this pile of junk. So I'll plug it in under the dash and pray. At least it read the vehicle. Now we can see if it shows anything wrong. Typical Dodge, it already shows that there are 8 faults in the powertrain control module. We'll see what codes exist there in the PCM. Whole bunch of them. Cylinder 1 misfire. Evap purge, that's not it, that's not it. Brake pressure sensor, incompatible. Implausible. Oil pressure, out of range. None of those are really starting problems. The central gateway has 2 faults. Let's check that. Yeah, those really aren't going to be why it's not starting either. So I'm going to try a trick. I'm going to erase all the codes. This machine can erase all the codes on it. See if that's going to help at all. Sometimes, strangely enough, it does. Now they're all erased, then I'm going to try another trick. We're going to remove the battery terminals. One, then the other. Then with the remove, we're going to touch them together to reset everything, drain everything, then leave them off for about 5 minutes. That way, it can reset everything back to factory settings to some extent. Sometimes it'll start right up then. Let's see. All right, we'll put them back on. First the negative, tighten it up, then the positive. That's nice and tight. Now we'll see what happens. Well, sad but true, stupid thing still isn't going to start. So, we know we turn the key on, we're getting power. I'm going to hot wire the starter. See if it'll start then. Now it's pretty easy on that. You get in on the driver's side, crawl under. Right under here is the starter. And somebody's already gotten a wire frayed here so you can check it. We will put a jumper cable right here on the starter line. Then reach under here and fish the line up. Gotta be a truck that's way up in the air and I'm not 80 feet tall here, so bear with me as I grab the stupid thing. Here's the wire. Now if we put it on a positive cable, it should make the starter at least turn over. Nothing. Probably a bad starter. And here's a good test. We'll hook this up. So now it's connected. Then we get a big hammer and go back under the vehicle and give it a few whacks. Well, it's not starting, but that doesn't mean it's not the problem. We didn't get lucky on this. A lot of times the starter still has some life left when you whack it with power going to it. The stupid thing will at least start to crank over. In this case, it's not even doing that. So we're gonna have to pull the starter off and then check it in the air to see if it works at all. So we'll take the battery terminal off so we don't short anything off when we remove the starter. Then crawl back under and unbolt the starter and take the power lines off here. And off comes the starter. And there's Dodge for you. This tiny little starter for this huge Hemi engine, and I can smell it. It's burnout. I don't even have to test it. It's hot now and I can smell it's just burnout. Cheap starter on a big engine. And here's the replacement tiny starter. That's all they had to fit on the stupid thing. At least locally, if you really want to do a better job, you can try to find a racing starter that's a lot better than this piece of crap. But this is just the guy's work truck, so I'm just putting the same thing back on. So it just slides back in the hole and you put the 2 bolts in, the bottom and the top. Get them on nice and tight. And don't forget to do the top one too. There are 2 of them holding it in. Then you get the big power cable and put it on, the nut on top of it, and tighten that up. Then get the starter wire here, and that just plugs right on there. Snaps right on. Nice and tight. And don't forget to put the battery cable back on. And put it on nice and tight. There we go. Then let's pray it didn't short the computer out. Even the computer on this thing has to do with starting the car. And sometimes I see if the starter shorts out, it can fry the computer. So let's pray it didn't. Well, here goes nothing. As you can see when I scanned it, it has a bunch of other things wrong, but typical Dodge. He wants this thing to start. Now it's starting and I'm stopping right there. So now you know what to do when your Dodge truck or any other vehicle doesn't start. Check it step by step. Always be logical. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.